Hello, everybody. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show, and the transfer window is open. This is going to be the first Championship transfer update of many. I don't know how frequently we'll do them, but it has been pretty busy. Remember, everything squished together here, and strangely, playoffs going on still and transfers still happening. So I'm going to go over some of the deals that have been done. Well, in fact, I'm going to go over all the deals that have been done so far. I'll give you my opinion. We're not going to do rumours here, so hopefully only solid stuff. And again, you're not going to get any bluster from me. If I don't know the player, I don't know the player. Obviously, a Championship channel, so there will be familiar names and unfamiliar names. We could be getting a transfer Championship record. If be interesting to see where it goes in the record books in terms of the season finishing, and we're talking about Nathan Ake at Bournemouth, and whether or not that happens before the playoffs, and a hell of a lot of business into Norwich and out of Wigan, let's just say. Speaking of which, there is Jensen Weir. Look, a couple of these deals obviously were done before the window closed, but then don't officially go through until July 27. So there is Jensen Weir, the youngest ever Wigan player. We think Joe Geldhart's going to go as well. The administrators, well, they're having to do their thing. He's gone to Brighton for £500,000. Maybe we see him loaned back down to the Championship next season. We'll still touch on Wigan until that appeal is done and announced. It's tomorrow, isn't it? A good deal here that I endorse is Ryan Woods rejoining Millwall on loan from Stoke. Rejoins Millwall for the final year of his contract. I wonder if they've got an obligation or first refusal there. I really like Ryan Woods. He's rejoined Gary Rowett. I think it's in terms of Millwall's growth as a Championship club, I think that's a good signing, because Woods at one point when he was at Brentford was a very highly prized Championship asset. Let's see if he can push on there and get back to where he was, and Millwall can continue their rise into a tenured top half Championship team. There is George Thomas, who has joined QPR from Leicester. You can see down there he'd previously been at Coventry and then gone to Leicester. I think he's done a couple of loans, Scunthorpe and Den Haag. Wide player there. Have a look out at QPR. Don't want to get into rumours, but obviously we're expecting Eze and probably Bright Asai Samuel to be gone. So maybe there's chances there in the wide positions at QPR. Right, here comes the first of the many Norwich signings. Obviously, they haven't done very much in the way of business, or certainly good business, in the Premier League. But if there's one thing Stuart Webber knows how to do, it's how to buy players to when his clubs have been in the Championship. So this is Bali Mumba, who has been at Sunderland. Interesting that they're calling him a fullback, because he has played central midfield for Sunderland. I don't see why you'd need to commit one way or the other, but we'll see. And as ever, we're talking about Max Aarons possibly going out there. Remember, and I forget the chap's name they took from Coventry earlier in the season. They've got Sam Byram there, but not so much Jamal Lewis, but the thought that Aarons will be going out. So already starting to fill up the squad. More from Norwich in just a minute. Knockaert obviously went through properly. That was the loan converted. Bit of a strange one, in my opinion, because he's not actually set the world alight in this loan. But we think the thick end of £10 million as well to convert that. And if they get up over the line, that'll be good business, and we'll see how he does next season if they stay down. Fulham go tonight, playoff semi-final, second leg, 2-0 up to face Brentford in the final. Here is Jakob Sørensen, who's gone in to Norwich. He is a 22-year-old, Danish. Sørensen made 117 appearances in all competitions for Ashby, who play in the top flight of Danish football here. So in he comes. Norwich was strange in centre midfield last time they went up because they had Tribal and McLean and Leitner and Tete, all sorts of players in there, Vrancic as well. So they've got another one here. We're expecting loads of ins, loads of outs at Norwich. We'll see how Sørensen does. That is undisclosed. But we think 2.7 million has bought in Przemysław Placheta, who is a 22-year-old flying winger here. Obviously, Norwich have already got Ernel Hernandez, who is a very, very good flying winger. Expect Emi Buendia to be sold. Again, don't want to get into rumours, but that's the conceived wisdom there. And Norwich will hope that they'll be getting a Kamil Grzycki type Polish winger there. And the fee is fairly high. Where has he played? I think Polish top division. So unknown to me, but Norwich spending a fair bit of money on him there implies that they're quite high on him. Reading are obviously very high on Josh Laurent, who has gone from Shrewsbury on a 3-year. I think that's an end of contract, a free transfer, 2-year deal. They're 42 games for the Shrews, 93 appearances. So experience at the lower level. Can he make the step up for the Royals? Mark Bowen in charge there. Fiseo Del Bashiru couldn't find his way in at Man City, 19 years old there. Undisclosed fee, so we don't know what that is, but it looks like they've paid some cash for him. Wednesday say the intention is for the teenager to break through. Isn't that the intention with every signing? But there we go. An unknown quantity there. Some of these players find their level eventually. Will it be in the Championship? Will it be further down? Have Wednesday got themselves a bargain? Back we go to Norwich. That is Matthew Dennis. That looks more of a development one. He is 18 years old, but an Arsenal young player. That's been a good route for Brentford, hasn't it? In terms of Nico Yanaris and Josh Da Silva, players like that. So Norwich really stocking up after their relegation. And they've also landed USA Youth International Sebastian Soto there. Stuart Webber Classic, that one. German Bundesliga 2 side, Hanover there. He's signed the deal there. He is a striker, I believe. USA Youth International striker. Again, Daniel Farke's been a solid, has been a solid 4-2-3-1 guy. Will Timu Pukki still be there? Will they keep hold of Drimich? Very interesting revolving door at the moment at Norwich. And here is their biggest one yet. I like this one. Everton midfielder Kieran Dowell in at Norwich. Undisclosed fee. I would suspect that would be more than they paid for the Polish winger, Placheta there, 2.7 million. We're very familiar with Dowell in the Championship. A lot of Everton players do come down on loan in this direction. And Dowell has been at Forest, where he looked really good. He then went to Sheffield United, where he just kind of joined in. And I think Chris Wilder even ended up playing him left wing back. So he was involved in their promotion there without necessarily setting the world alight. Didn't go well for him at Derby County. Couldn't get into Philip Koku's team there for whatever reason. But he's been excellent again for Wigan. I'm sure everyone will have seen that brilliant goal and his hat-trick, indeed, against Hull in that crazy 8-0 victory. I see him as a number 10. I think he's played his best football at Forest and at Derby as a number 10. But who knows in that regard? And an undisclosed fee. Also, does that spell the end for Marcus Stiepermann? Remember, Norwich essentially in 18-19 getting promoted without a number 10. Marcus Stiepermann kind of always felt like a sort of converted player in that position. Wigan cutting more costs there. Callum Lang out to Motherwell on loan for the season. That's off the wage bill for the administrators. And the big one that hasn't yet gone through, and will it go through with Bournemouth actually as a Championship club, given the Championship's not finished, but that could be the one, the Cascade transfer that I always talk about. You always need one early in the window. Big money going into a relegated club always helps. Depends where Bournemouth go to spend, but potentially 40 million quid coming in. We think that one's going to be done fairly soon for Nathan Ake. I've heard different things about Bournemouth, that there's a lot of deals they've done that are what I call back-end deals, where there's still a lot of money to be paid out. So whether Bournemouth are in a position to spend or not will remain to be seen. But remember those evil parachute payments going now. 45 million quid going to Watford, Bournemouth and Norwich. We'll see how the finances are and whether they can splurge and whether they spend that money in the Championship, or like you can see, Norwich, none of it going to the Championship so far, but Ake might open a few floodgates there. So that is the first load of transfers there. That is Championship Transfer Update Episode 1. I'll try and keep abreast of all of this stuff. Get your opinions and thoughts in on any deals. Remember, we're only going to try and talk about completed deals. But I just thought I'd bring up the Ake stuff there, because it looks, to all intents and purposes, like a potential Championship record if it's classed as such, with the Championship still continuing and Bournemouth being relegated. And it could be a big one in terms of if Bournemouth reinvest using the Championship as their buying market. Get your views in on any of those deals that have gone through. Good, bad, indifferent. Do you know anything about some of those players that I don't know about? As ever, you can support this channel via Super Chat. Just hit the dollar button. You can bring up the live chat even after the fact. You can support me on Patreon. Please get your comments in and like the video and hit the subscribe button. We've gone over 10,000 subscribers, as it says up there. If you are a fan of a Championship team, I will be covering your team all through next season. So well worth hitting that subscribe button. This has been the Benjamin Bloom Football Show. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And that was Championship Transfer Update Episode 1. We'll wait for another 8 to 10 transfers to come through, and then we will be back with another episode. Thank you for watching. Over and out.